Fellas, it's been over a month. It feels like ages since we last did a tier list. So let's get right into it. We got the brand new game mode to consider, to ponder for these new and improved characters. However, I don't think the new game mode warrants a facelift for the tier list. So for those of you hoping to get rid of these tags, for those of you hoping, I don't know what you want to see, but yeah, I don't really see it right now. We'll consider it into 2025, but for now, I think we steady lads and sort of ride this one out and see what is up. So X23 gets a tier 4 with a new uniform. That was the first mid-month update after the Iron Man and Hulkbuster kind of shit fest. I mean, Iron Man was good. Let's be honest. X23, not so good. Absolutely needs the tier 4. Like, she got it, but she, like, desperately needs it. Not very good either. She does change back into being a speed type, so she does, go back to that road, but yeah, it's just not very good, man. She's useful for certain content, but it's Ant-Man tier. It's Ant-Man-esque, I gotta be honest. It's really in the Ant-Man territory, which is disappointing. Also, having Ant-Man here means we're probably going to have to start kicking people out of the usable, like adding too many characters there over to usable means we probably gonna start shifting people over the wall into no man's land of AC/please rework, because that shit is getting way too long. But yeah, X23, unfortunately, she deserved better. She's okay for certain content, and when I say certain content, I mean strictly Alliance Conquest and Otherworld Battle. Alliance Conquest, sure, whatever. You need her artifact. She absolutely needs the artifact, so, you can put her in for PvP. Not great for PvE, to be honest, but needs the artifact as well. But on top of that, she's just not very good. You're going to need multiple restrictions in Otherworld Battle in order for her to be usable. You're going to need multiple people banned, and even then, I think there are mostly better options. Now, Dakin, in a lot of the same ways, also needs his artifact. He got a new uniform. He got tier 3, didn't get the tier 4. Also, PvP. He's all right. Like, he's for a tier 3, I would think he's good. If there was any kind of content where it's like tier 3 only PvP, I think he would rock it. He would certainly be good. But yeah, as it stands now, he's really just usable. I've been trying to use him for Otherworld Battle right now because it's a buff to damage of supervillains and combat types, so he double dips, which is really nice. Even with his artifact as well, I pulled his 4-star artifact. He takes too much damage, so he's got a cool iframe ignore skill. Like, he hits really hard. He should be fun when he gets a tier 4 if he ever gets one. But these days, the gap is just too wide between tier 3s and tier 4s, so even with a ton of buffs and a good build, you're basically looking at very, very little return. Like, you would have to really go giga hard into the build. I have a Mighty Conquest. I would have to go with a Brilliant, I think, in order to really see dividends being paid, really to see him pay off. So yeah, I just can't afford that. It's a little too rich for my blood. But yeah, he is fun to play. He's fun to play in PvE as well. Hits pretty hard. But yeah, not really moving the needle here. And then the second mid-month was Apocalypse, who absolutely needs his tier 4. He got his tier 4. He needs it desperately. He is PvP pretty much, I don't want to say only, but kind of only. Oh, the hammer goes before the thing? Okay. But he also needs his artifact. So kind of a stinky baby. Kind of a stinky baby here. That's so many icons, bro. That's annoying. Apocalypse is just not very good, unfortunately. I think he's useful. I think in certain situations, like, he's probably better than Hulkbuster. But that's not really saying a lot, right? Like, let's be real here. But middle of the pack, right with Mr. Fantastic kind of thing. Maybe he's a little bit better. I'd say maybe he's a little bit better than Mr. Fantastic because he is standalone, whereas Mr. Fantastic needs Franklin. But again, that's not really saying much, and frankly, I think he needs more of a build than Mr. Fantastic does, although Mr. Fantastic kind of needs his artifact. It's tough. It's tricky. But yeah, I would say Apocalypse certainly underperformed, certainly left people disappointed, myself included. And yeah, it just sucks to see really popular, expensive characters, native tier 2s, just being given the short end of the stick. And it's weird because it's inconsistent, right? Like Gladiator got an amazing rework. Scarlet Witch got an amazing rework. And Silver Surfer got an amazing rework. All native tier 2s, right? Some of them world bosses, some of them whatever. And then Mr. Fantastic gets shit on. Doom gets shit on. Where's Doom? Down here. And Apocalypse gets shit on. So yeah, it's disappointing. And he's not even good for PvE, man. They could have just made him better for PvE. There's really no reason not to. So that was the last update. That was the update that I was really that everyone was really just dying from. And now we have the new update with the zombie characters, all of the zombie uniforms, and then Okoye. We can get Okoye out of the way first here because she's just a tier 3. She has no support ability. She has no leadership. She hits pretty hard. She's not very proc friendly, but she is a free character and she is easy to build. So I'll be generous and put her at the bottom of usable. I think for new players, she's great, right? New player friendly, I think that's great. I might bring that category back. I might bring back that free-to-play category because Okoye and Man-Thing and a couple of these other characters do fulfill that niche. And it is nice to know and to look at the tier list and be like, okay, boom, I can go build these characters. I don't need to throw 1,000 crystals at them, etc. And they can actually do something for me, right? Like if these days you're going to tier 3, I don't know, Spider-Man or Luna or whoever with no uniform, they're completely garbage, right? They're completely unusable. So that kind of matters for something, but obviously in the grand scheme of things, she's not great. As far as the other two speed types, so Captain Falcon becomes a villain. That's important to know. Doesn't get the tier 3, but does get a support buff only for zombie allies. So keep that in mind. I don't know if I should put like a Z here. Like it's gonna look kind of dumb, but these are all the zombies, right? Yeah, I don't know. You guys hit me up. I don't know, but yeah, he is a support now, but only for zombies. He really has no value outside of being a support. He has like 20 hits on his build. I don't even think I'm gonna do a dedicated video for him because he's really just not usable. He really is just genuinely only a support and nothing else. And that's going to change. That's not going to last very long, so keep that in mind. In a few months, he's getting his tier 4 with the movie. And he's going to go in and he's going to go back to being a hero and he's going to pop off and he's going to be insane and he's going to be blowing shit up. But for now, he's just useless. Borderline useless. I would say if you're really looking for a support for the zombies, like I guess Wong is worse because Wong only buffs Doctor Strange, whereas Falcon buffs Captain America and Doctor Strange. If you're going to go all in on a zombie team, technically that's the case. And technically you can go double support because Falcon can also buff Wong. So you could have Falcon buffing himself, Wong, Cap, and DS, and then Wong buffing himself and DS. But let's get real. You're not going to do that unless the Otherworld battle, thing is insane. No one's going to build, no one's going to field an all zombie team. It's just not going to work because while Captain America is decent for PvP now and Wong is decent, that's kind of it, right? So yeah, it doesn't really bode well for the only support that they have, which is Captain Falcon. Maybe if there's content in the future where we see that you need the zombie tag, then that's more relevant. But as of now, he's a very low value, low impact support character. Wong, on the other hand, gets a tier 3. I think he needs his tier 3 if you're going to use him. Now, keep in mind that's if you're going to use him. If he's just gonna still be a support, you obviously don't need the tier 4. That goes without saying. I think he also is PvP friendly, or he's kind of, relevant, not like super relevant, but yeah. And he doesn't need his artifact because his artifact's kind of bad. That being said, like, how good is Wong? I don't know. I think he's right around like a Black Swan level. I think these days Black Swan's a little bit more useful than Shadow Shell. I think Black Swan might be a little bit more useful than Black Widow. I think, honestly, they're more useful than Angel as well, so I'm actually going to move them all up. And then I think Shadow Shell is somewhere over here. Honestly, she's actually probably somewhere over here. Really, Shadow Shell is only useful, I would say, in a full Warriors of the Sky Otherworld battle team, and that's rare. And then I guess AC, right? But yeah, I think Wong is okay. Just useful. He can do some stuff in PvP for you if you're really desperate for that, or you're not desperate, but you want to build that specific thing there. But it's mostly going to be Conquest with a little bit of Otherworld battle sprinkled in. And then for PvE, he's just insufferably bad. Captain America, on the other hand, zombie Captain America now. He still has the leadership. He doesn't really gain anything else. He still has some relevance for PvP. Like, I don't want to go crazy with the relevance, but yeah, he does have some PvP relevance. He's really easy to play now, which is really nice. So I will give him the easy to play tag. He's super easy to play, which is very, very nice. Does he need his tier 4? I still don't think he needs his tier 4. I still don't think he needs his tier 4, which is really nice. And he hits hard, man. He hits really hard. I'm not sure what content, like he's not really high meta for anything, so I can't put him anywhere above low meta, but I can say that he's probably, like, he's definitely better than Black Panther and Namor. And then he's probably better than Carnage at this point, or almost as good as Carnage, I would say. And then, yeah, and that's overall, right? Not just for PvE and PvP stuff. So, yeah, I think he's pretty good. Really fun to play now. Hits really hard, simple, straightforward, and has more use in PvP than you'd expect. I think if you check Otherworld Battle right now, again, combat villains are eating good because they get double buffs. But yeah, Captain America tier 4 is on like every team in the top 50, along with like Black Swan and stuff like that. And then we come to Doctor Strange. He gets a massive upgrade. I think he still needs the tier 4. He has the leadership. He hits hard. He's easier to play. I wouldn't say he's easy to play now. I'm not going to give him the easy to play tag, but he is absolutely dominating meta-wise, and I think he actually just replaces Magneto. Yeah, I think he actually just straight up just replaces Magneto. So I think that's just what's going to happen, and I think that with Magneto being replaced, he kind of goes, like, I don't know how far he falls, because really what was keeping Magneto in place was that he was the de facto blast villain for all those days of ABX and ABL, right? And in blast mail days of ABX, and now Doctor Strange just does all of that content in his place. Plus, Doctor Strange is really good for the new game mode, zombie survival. Doctor Strange blows up GBR faster than Magneto. He blows up World Boss around the same. Well, like, in some ways, he's better than Magneto. In against Kang specifically, he's probably going to be slower because Magneto does more damage to humans, but that's just one boss. So yeah, I don't really know. I think Magneto might need to fall further, but then I'm looking over here and it's like Sue Storm and Madeline. Like, get real, you know? Like, what are we really talking about here with Madeline and Sue? I do think maybe, I don't know if Madeline's worse than Sue. That's kind of a tough one. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at for Magneto. We'll have to monitor this, but he may experience more slippage here in the future. As far as the new game mode goes, are there any characters that I think deserve a bump because of the new game mode? Like, Jean Grey is very good for the new game mode. Ghost Rider is really good for the new game mode. I would say Ghost Rider probably deserves to come up to Beyond Meta. I think he's still dominating a ton of content, and he's still doing really, really well. What did I just do? I'm not saying this to try to, like, sell you on his uniform. I know it's coming up very, very soon. But he's still just so good. He's still just so good for everything. So I actually think, and he might be more useful now to your account than Jean is. That's tough. I think he might be. Yeah. So I bolded Jean because he's also good for the new game mode. Luna's also good for the new game mode. But unsurprisingly, it's most of the characters that are already Beyond Meta are really good for the new game mode. So not a big surprise there. Hela is really the only other one for the new game mode that is quite nice. So she could probably get bumped up a spot. I don't know if I think what we have to do here is bump Captain Marvel down. And because Thor doesn't have any PvP value, let's be real, right? I think this is what needs to happen. Yeah. So I think good things happening here for the new game mode. Aside from those 5, I don't know who else, right? Jean, Ghost Rider, Strange, Luna, and Hela. Not sure who else is really going to benefit too much beyond, like, a ton of supports. Obviously, like White Fox, Sin, but they're already super valuable, so people aren't really surprised there. Phil Coulson, where's Mysterio, yeah. So interesting stuff here. We'll see how the game mode shakes out, the new game mode, because we haven't seen too many weeks of bans, so there hasn't been too much of a shakeup, but it'll be interesting to monitor for the time being. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of the tier list. Obviously, we'll be amending it in November after we see the next mid-month and stuff like that. Hopefully, we'll have some cool seasonals. Maybe, who knows, we'll get a null tier 4. He'll finally come back to the meta. In the meantime, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.